Hi everyone, welcome back to the Code Learners Helpline for Software Development. In this video, we will learn how to add custom permissions in Django REST framework. So I will show you how to create your own custom permissions class and also how to send a permission denied response through API. So here you can see in my Visual Studio Code, I have a Django project which I have created. Basically, this is just a simple Django project. It doesn't have any APIs and all. And here is how the output looks like. So basically it's kind of an e-commerce page, you can see, and here we have a functionality called products. So here we have certain fields like product name, product price, and description and all. So now if I show you the code, it is just like a simple Django application where we use the functional components here to display all the data, to edit, and to update and all. So now what I want to do is I want to make this particular project and create an API for product to create a product. So for that I am using Django REST framework. I have already installed Django REST framework. If you want to install it again, if you haven't installed it, then you have to use a command as pip install Django REST framework. Okay, so after doing this, the next thing is you need to come to your settings.py file, and here at the installed apps you need to install the REST framework. So just install REST framework, and after that you must also install auth REST framework.auth tokens. So basically this particular app helps us to generate tokens through token model of Django REST framework. The next thing what you need to do is you need to install, you can do certain default configurations here. Like at the bottom there are certain REST framework configurations you can do, which is sorry, this is basically a dictionary, and here default authentication classes you can provide. Okay, so basically if you don't have any kind of authentication, then these default authentication classes will be used. And to be noted that if you in the view or in the class, in the API view, if you provide any kind of authentication, then this authentication will be ignored and those authentication will be used instead. So the first is basic authentication, and the next thing is the session authentication. So after this I will proceed to in the urls.py file, and here you can see I have different kinds of apps I have created. This is only on products, creating API for specifically products this video is on. So I'll just rename this particular to API/products. Okay, and here I will use API URLs instead. So I'll go to products, create a new file, API. Okay, so now in the I'll just copy as it is from the urls.py file, and here I won't be doing any change here, but just API products, and we don't need this we don't need this list, and I'll just remove this whole thing. We only need a create. Okay, and I will change the name to a different name. I will, because I'll be using API views, so I'll convert it to a class-based API view. So for that I'll use create view, not as view. So now the next thing what I need to do is I need to create this API view. Okay, so here I'll create another file, API views.py file. Okay, so basically all my APIs will be here. So here I need to import certain things. Like first thing is I need to import models, which I'll copy from here. and I will paste here. I'll just remove the slide model, we don't need now. So now the next thing is we also need some certain files from the REST framework, so I'll import that. Response. Then we also need API views from views. Then also I will import authentication, token authentication. I'll create a create view. And here I'll specify authentication classes, which is token authentication, and just I'll leave it as empty for now. Then here I will specify a post method, since we will not be accessing, we are just posting the data. So here I will do self, and here is the request, and here you can, there is a parameter you can provide as format, which is none for now. I'll create a dictionary. In this, basically in the create view, in the post method I am trying to create a new product here. Okay, if the product exists, I will update it, or else it will be created. I will also be using serializer. So here is a response object I will be sending. By default will be false, and the message is something went wrong. I'll just create a product object, product ID. So basically the primary key of the product model, which is the request.post. So since during the creation we will not be having a product ID, so this is an optional field now. After this I'll select the first one. Okay, basically this the filter will basically return a query set list, so I will just fetch the first one. And the next thing is I will post request.post. You can do this dot copy. So this is much better. You will copy and you can add user ID here. So this is basically user request.user ID. So this is the user.id is the currently authenticated user ID. And here now if I want to create this, I want to create it using serializers. Okay. So for that I have to create a serializer here. So main thing about here is this is called product serializer. So to create a serializer, you need to import a serializer from Django REST framework. And then we need to also need the model. Okay, so I will create a serializer class, product serializer. So this will be a model serializer. Okay. So if you don't have any, if you are new to the serializers, then I have provided a link at the top top left side, so you can check that out on serializers, how to create a custom serializers also. So here at the bottom I have to specify a inner meta class, and then the name of the model, which is product model, and then I want to specify the fields for the serializers. So if you want to specify all the fields, simply use _all . I will import this serializer in API view. Product serializer. Okay. So the thing about serializers is if you want to, if the product ID, if the product object is present, then it does update operation. If the product is object is none, then it will do insert operation. Okay. So this is the object I will be passing, and the second parameter will be the data that I will be passing to create a new object or update the existing one. So data equal to post. So since we are creating serializers are just like acts as a form for validation. So now if you want to do validation, you have to use serializer dot is valid method. Okay, so this will validate, and then serializer dot save method. So if it is saved, then I'll just update the, I'll just add the object here. If the serializer, if this works, then I will pass the complete object by providing serializer dot data. So in the else part, in the info, I will pass the validation error. So you can get the validation error in through serializer using serializer dot errors attribute. And finally, I will return the response. So now if you try to do this, we will get an error because we don't have a user ID present yet. And also if I show you my database in the products, I don't have a user ID here. Okay, and the only two things we need to do here. First thing, we need to add a user ID column here, and the second thing is we need to migrate all the REST framework tables into our table, and also we need to create tokens for all the users we have. Okay, so I'll be creating tokens for 2 users which I have here. Okay, I'll go one by one now. The first thing is about creating a new column in products table. So I'll go to models.py file, and here user models dot foreign key to so basically this is relates to user model. So we need to import a user model, and then we need just give a related name to it. So related name is as products on delete models.cascade. So we need to import the user model. So that will be from django.contrib.auth models import user. Okay, so this is user. So now here if I run python run server, you can see there are certain errors here. It says product we have no attribute create view at some API errors. Basically, this API view, and we need to use API view here. Right. So we have 3 unapplied migrations. So first thing is we will apply the migrations. So to do that, python manage.py migrate so if you come here, you can see the auth token. This is basically to store the tokens. So REST framework tables have been moved here. So I need to create migration for the products table. For that, make migrations products Okay, so I need to give a default value to that. So I'll make it as null true. So now I will just migrate this. And in products we have new column user ID. So now I will open python manage.py shell. Okay, so I will be generating tokens manually. If you want to know how to automatically generate tokens in the Django REST framework for a particular user, then I have made a video on that. You can check out through the card which appears in the video top. So here I'll just import user. So from REST framework auth token import token. So we don't have it. Maybe models. So now I need to generate the token. The first thing is I will get the first user dot objects. So this is the user and I need to create a token for him. Go ahead using token dot objects create and pass the user. So if you come here and you go to the auth token table, you can find that there's a key here, okay, for this particular user, and for second user also I'll do the same thing. So the next thing what I need to do is I go to products table and here I'll just update the user ID manually. So this table belongs to user number 1. So the main work is done now. So now I will go to the auth token underscore token table and I will fetch the key here from there. Just copy the key and I need to do API testing now. So one thing is I have to go to views and all things is done. So here I want also to do permission class here. Permission classes is authenticated because only the token authentication doesn't work. You must also have the permission to check whether the person is, the particular user is authenticated or not. So for permission classes you just need to import is authenticated from REST framework permissions. So to test our APIs I'll be using a Thunder client, okay, which is actually a great tool which I often use in my real-time projects to do API testing and all. So here I have just a simple I just create a new request and this request is of post request and I want a URL here. So I'll just quit from the terminal and run my server again. Copy the URL. Okay. So here in the URL, the main URLs, we have used API/products. If you remember, in our root app, that this is SRC. In the URLs, we have used API/products. Okay. So we'll be using the same thing, and here we'll be using slash, which we have used here, create. So the next thing what we need to do is we need to in the body we will pass some data here. The first thing we need is name, so shampoo, and the second thing is price field we have. If I go to models you can see all the fields here. and next is content. So if I try to send, you'll see that the authentication credentials are not provided. A message appears because for this we have the API views. For this we have added authentication class and permission classes. So it is getting response from there. So now what if I tried, if I for that I need to send a token through headers in the authorization. Use token and go here, copy the, I will copy the token from the first user one and paste it. And if I click on send, you can see that the new object has been created here. Okay, so we are getting the idea and all. So this works fine and well. I also want to do one thing, that when I am trying to edit a product, like I want to update a product. So what should happen is only the user who has created the product must be able to update it. If some other user try to update the product, then it must throw permission denied message. So for that I will be creating a custom permission. I'll name the permission as is product owner. Okay, so I'll create, in the root app I'll create permissions .py file, and here I will specify the permission. Inside the first thing is, if you want to create permissions in Django REST framework, so what you need to do is you need to import the base permissions from Django REST framework, and then you have to implement, you need to inherit that as a parent class. So I'll just import REST framework, import base permission, and each product owner inherits the base permission. So when you inherit the base permission, you have to mandatorily override two methods. The first method is has permission. Okay, we can consider as a view level permission. The second parameter will be the request, and the third parameter will be the view. So here I will just pass return true, because we won't be doing much thing here. So the main thing what we are doing is, we are not applying permission to the views, we are trying to apply permissions to the particular object. User can create multiple products, but he can only update those products which he have created. So that is the reason it is actually object level permission. So for object level permission, there is another method which says has object permission. The second one is the request, third one is the view, and the next thing you can use object to send here. So here you can do some comparison. So here what I'll do is, if the object user is equal to the user who is authenticated, okay, then it will return a boolean value, true or false. So now we need to we have specified this particular class in the product owner. Okay, I just need to import it. I have imported from here. So now if you want to you have to trigger this. Okay, so the thing how it works is, you have created new permission, but if you want to trigger the object level permission, then you need to call a method which says check object permission. What I'll only call if the product exists. Only if the product exists, then only I will call that particular method through self check object permissions. And here you need to you need to pass the product. Sorry, the first thing you need to pass the request and then the product. Okay, so basically the check object permissions, you don't need to create it. It is there in it is by default available in Django REST framework. You just need to call it. So you can decide whenever you can call it. But I have decided that I will only call it if this particular product object is not none. If it has product ID, then only it will be called. If I go back to the Thunder client, and if I come to the body and add a product ID here, and this time if I add product ID as 1, if I click on send, you can see now nothing happens here. Okay, so here nothing happens, we don't get any error. But if you try to, for the product ID 2, if you see for the product ID 2, I am not the user ID 1 is not the owner. Okay, user ID 2 is the owner. So now if I click on send, so still it is giving me the option. I need to go and check here. So I'm going to debug it now to check what data I'm passing. So if I do product product, so it is getting none. Okay, I need to pass product ID here. So I'll go back to the Thunder client and try to send again. And this time if I do product print product status now. We have empty query set. Check. Query. Okay, yes. The product ID doesn't exist because I have passed wrong product ID. So now I'll just exit this. Okay, so here the product ID 3 is by the user ID. If I pass product ID as 3, I forgot to uncomment the breakpoint. So now you can see it is updating. The product ID is 3 now, so it is updated. So now if I change to 4, the 4 product ID is the owner of is user ID 2. So now if I click on send, you can see that we have given it returns a message here. You don't have permission to perform this action. So this is basically the default message. It will be shown. If you want to change the message and provide a customized message based on the different permission classes you create, so you can do that by adding a property message here. Okay, so this is one of the way. This is the way you can do that. Now you can just add a name here. You are not product owner, and if you want to change the message, then simply on the basis of the function you are calling. So here you can change no permission, and here you can also change modify the message as you must be product owner to update. Okay, so you don't need to pass this, you just need to modify it within the methods. Okay. And if you send again, you can see we are getting the message we wanted. So I hope you understood how to create a custom permission classes and other different aspects of Django REST permissions in Django REST framework. So do support my channel by subscribing, by clicking on subscribe button, and if you like my video, hit a like button. Thank you. See you in the next video. Bye.